To body integrity identity disorder, when the mind rejects a healthy body. Imagine for a moment that you wake up every morning looking in the mirror and feeling that a part of your body shouldn't be there. It's not physical pain you feel, but an absolute and disturbing certainty that that leg, that arm, simply doesn't belong to you. Its weight against the mattress bothers you. The sound it makes when you walk seems wrong. The sensation of clothing touching that skin causes you a silent agony that no one around you can understand. For most of us, our body is our home. Every limb, every part, makes sense as an integrated whole. But what if your own mind rejected a healthy part of you? What if the deepest desire you could feel was to get rid of something others would consider essential to your existence? Welcome to the disturbing world of body integrity identity disorder, known by the acronym BIID. A condition as rare as it is bewildering, where neurologically normal people develop an obsessive desire to amputate perfectly functional limbs. In 1997, in the United States, a middle-aged man contacted a surgeon through classified ads. He wasn't seeking common cosmetic surgery. His request was disturbing. He wanted his healthy left leg amputated just below the knee. There was no trauma, no disease, no apparent medical reason, just an unshakable certainty that that leg shouldn't be part of him. The surgeon, Dr. Robert Smith, initially refused, but faced with the patient's persistence and other similar cases that came to his office, he began to question whether he wasn't dealing with something more complex than he initially imagined. Between 1997 and 2000, Smith performed 2 elective amputations on patients with this condition. Both reported immediate and lasting relief after the procedure, but when the cases became public, controversy exploded. The hospital where Smith worked banned future surgeries of this type. The medical community was divided between horror and scientific curiosity. How is it possible for a healthy mind to reject a healthy body with such intensity? The answer may lie in the brain itself. Neuroimaging studies conducted in the last decade have revealed something fascinating. People with BIID show specific alterations in the right superior parietal cortex, the region responsible for our body perception and proprioception. It's as if the mental map of the body were incomplete or incorrect. Think of your brain as an architect who has the blueprint of a house. Under normal conditions, this blueprint corresponds exactly to the physical structure. But in BIID, it's as if the architect had a blueprint showing only 3 rooms, while the real house has 4. The discrepancy causes constant and inescapable discomfort. Dr. Paul McGeoch, a neuropsychologist at the University of California, discovered that when people with BIID touch the part of the body they want to amputate, neural activation in the somatosensory cortex is significantly lower compared to individuals without the condition. It's as if the brain simply doesn't recognize that region as belonging to its own body. But how does this neural disconnection manifest in real life? Symptoms usually appear in childhood, between 6 and 12 years of age. The child develops a persistent feeling that a certain limb doesn't belong to them. It's not a passing phase or whim, it's a deep certainty that remains constant over the years. In 2004, a woman identified as Patient L, in a study published in the Journal of Neurological Sciences, described her experience. Since I was 8 years old, I knew my right leg wasn't mine. When I walked, I felt like I was carrying something that wasn't part of me. It was like walking with a prosthetic, except I had never lost the original leg. The intensity of discomfort varies among patients. Some describe a sensation of extra weight, others speak of constant strangeness. Many try to simulate the disability using wheelchairs, crutches, or hiding the unwanted limb. This behavior, called pretending, offers temporary relief, but can also increase the desire for real amputation. Dr. Michael First, a psychiatrist at Columbia University who conducted one of the largest studies on BIID, interviewed 52 individuals with the condition. He found that 87% of participants had tried to hurt the unwanted limb in some way. Some used extreme ice, others tried to provoke infections or wounds. The line between desire and desperation often became dangerously thin. The most documented case is that of Jewel Shooping, a woman from North Carolina who, in 2006, convinced a psychologist to drop cleaning fluid into her eyes. Jewel didn't suffer from limb-related BIID, but from an even rarer variation, the desire to become blind. She had tried for years to damage her own vision, constantly wearing dark glasses and pretending to be visually impaired. 2 years after losing her sight, Jewel declared in interviews that she finally felt complete. Her case generated intense ethical debates about bodily autonomy and the limits of medicine. Where do we draw the line between mental pathology and personal identity? Neuroscience offers some intriguing clues. Studies with transcranial magnetic stimulation showed that when certain brain areas are temporarily turned off, healthy people can experience sensations similar to BIID. It's as if our body perception is more fragile and malleable than we imagine. But not all cases follow the same pattern. Some patients develop BIID after specific traumas or significant events. Dr. Richard Brown, from the Institute of Psychiatry in London, documented cases where the disorder emerged after accidents that could have resulted in amputation, but didn't. It's as if the brain had prepared for a reality that didn't materialize. The treatment question remains controversial. Cognitive behavioral therapy, antidepressant and anxiolytic medications have shown limited results. Most patients report that no psychological treatment significantly reduces the desire for amputation. Some find temporary relief in support groups or through disability simulation, but the central desire persists. This brings us to the most disturbing question. Should we allow elective amputations? Countries like Germany and some American states have debated specific legislation on the topic. The arguments are complex. On one hand, we have the principle of bodily autonomy and the right to make choices about our own body. On the other, we have the medical principle of do no harm and concern about dangerous precedents. Dr. Tim Bain, a medical philosopher at Oxford University, argues that if we accept sex reassignment surgeries for trans people, perhaps we should consider elective amputations for people with BIID. Both conditions involve a discrepancy between mental identity and the physical reality of the body, but critics point out fundamental differences. Sex reassignment surgeries create new functionality, while amputations remove existing functionality. The long-term risks and implications are completely different. Meanwhile, people with BIID continue living in an anguishing limbo. Longitudinal studies show that the condition rarely improves spontaneously. Many patients develop severe depression and suicidal thoughts. The rate of self-harm attempts is alarmingly high. A 2013 study followed 21 individuals with BIID for 5 years. 17 still had intense symptoms at the end of the period. 3 had obtained amputations through dangerous methods, arranged accidents or clandestine surgeries in other countries. All 3 reported significant improvement in quality of life, despite medical complications. These results raise profound ethical questions. If amputation really relieves suffering, how can we justify denying it? But if we allow it, what other extreme body modifications will we have to consider? Countries like Belgium and the Netherlands have approached the issue more pragmatically. Some hospitals offer rigorous multidisciplinary evaluations, including years of psychological follow-up, before considering any surgical intervention. The process is similar to the protocol used for sex reassignment surgeries, but even in these countries, very few elective amputations are performed. The criteria are extremely rigorous. The patient must be over 25 years old, have symptoms for at least a decade, have tried all available conservative treatments and undergo evaluation by multiple specialists. Dr. Karin Lips from the University of Amsterdam followed 6 patients who went through this process between 2008 and 2015. 5 opted for amputation after years of evaluation. All reported satisfaction with the decision and significant improvement in quality of life 2 years after surgery. But there are complications that go beyond the physical. Relationships frequently suffer. Families fragment. Professional careers are impacted. Society still views people with disabilities through prejudiced lenses, and deliberately choosing a disability adds layers of social judgment. Sarah, an anonymous patient cited in a 2010 BBC documentary, described her family's reaction. "My parents stopped talking to me for 2 years. They couldn't understand how someone would throw away a healthy leg. For them, it was like I was rejecting a gift from God." The internet has created communities where people with BIID connect and share experiences. These spaces offer crucial emotional support, but can also normalize dangerous behaviors. Forums discuss in detail methods to cause damage to unwanted limbs, creating additional risks. Moderators of these communities face constant ethical dilemmas. They want to offer support, but also need to discourage self-mutilation. It's a delicate balance between understanding and responsibility. Research on BIID is evolving rapidly. New neuroimaging techniques are revealing fascinating details about how our brain constructs body perception. Some scientists believe that understanding BIID can help in treating related conditions, such as anorexia nervosa or body dysmorphism. Emerging technologies offer intriguing possibilities. Immersive virtual reality is being tested as a way to train the brain to accept or reject different body configurations. Deep brain stimulation, already used for Parkinson's and depression, may one day modulate the neural circuits responsible for body perception. But while we await technological advances, real people continue to suffer. The medical and ethical challenge remains. How to balance compassion with caution, individual autonomy with social protection. Perhaps the most important lesson from BIID is the fragility of our own body perception. We assume that our sense of physical integrity is solid and immutable, but neuroscience shows the opposite. Our bodily identity is a delicate construction, maintained by specific neural circuits that can fail or change. This should make us more empathetic to those whose brains create realities different from ours. BIID is not vanity, rebellion, or attention-seeking. It's a real neurological condition that causes genuine suffering and deserves serious medical approach. As our understanding of the human mind deepens, we will be forced to reconsider fundamental concepts about identity, normality, and the right to bodily self-determination. The answers won't be simple, but the conversation is necessary. In the end, BIID reminds us that the line between mind and body is thinner than we'd like to admit. Our perception of reality is filtered through neural circuits that, however sophisticated they may be, remain vulnerable to failures and distortions. And when these circuits fail, the very foundation of our identity can be questioned. If this video made you reflect on the mysteries of the human mind, leave your like and subscribe to the channel for more content about the most intriguing aspects of psychology and neuroscience. Share your reflections in the comments. What's your opinion on the ethical dilemmas we explored today? And don't forget to share this video with someone who is also interested in the enigmas of human consciousness. Remember, this content has educational purposes. If you or someone you know is facing issues related to body perception or thoughts of self-harm, seek professional help immediately. Mental health is a priority, and specialized support is available.